4, right, or something. But it's perfect for, you're just about to your goal, and then you go off into the briar patch, or I can't remember the little traps that are in Candyland. But isn't that just like our life? It's the perfect game for kids, because we're headed for we got what we want to do, and then we fall in love with the wrong person, maybe the right person, but it kind of dead ends, or we chase after money or power, or we chase after something, and that's what these desires are the little side things that we do, but it's like continual, we fall off the rails of our path, and of course there are no rails because it's my own path, but there are. It's following my true self, following my heart, and these 5 desires are ways we fall off the rails, ways we fall off the path, and I am thinking about Gimpo, and just so sorry about what he's going through and what we're all going through, what White One's going through. But it just seems like, he is famous and he does have a lot of money, and it just kind of seems like he got a little over-seduced by that. And I started talking about these 5 desires before the problems with Genpo started, so it's just synchronicity. But being a teacher, what is our responsibility? Being a student, what is your responsibility? And I love this. I read it last time. Rinzai talking about it. So to say, oh, it's a different culture, and in the East you just do whatever the teacher says and then you'll get enlightened, that is not true. And Rinzai is very clear about host and guest. And so host and guest is a way of talking about power differential, but maybe without saying it's a differential. Just sometimes I'm the host, you come to my house and you eat my food and follow my rules. I go to your house, I eat your food and follow your rules. That's how it works. So when it works, teacher is host, student is guest. Student opens up to teacher, trusts teacher, and teacher shares the Dharma. However, and then we're working with our patterns, we're working with our dirty laundry, and everybody's got some. That's one of the biggest disappointments about teacher-student relationship. I did think that Roshi was perfect, and that he had everything, and he knew everything about me, and I thought if I was just really, really good, at one point he would just awaken me. And I guess he figured that out, because pretty soon into our relationship he said, I can't do this for you. You have to do it for yourself. I was so disappointed. Me. So a teacher just points things out. And it may be accurate, it may not. If it doesn't fit, throw it away. If it fits, use it. And so teacher has patterns and stuff and issues. So, and of course students do. So if the student's pattern somehow connects with the teacher's issue, say for instance the student gets their way by being flirtatious and through physical attraction, and uses that with the teacher, and say the teacher is lonely and not mature in their sexuality, then there can be big trouble. And that's called transference and countertransference. And I don't know if everybody knows what that is, but it's very important to know what it is. Transference is when you fall in love with the teacher. And we all do a little bit. We of course, that's how we choose a teacher, is we love the teacher and we love the understanding. There's something there. I want to get that. But then if it feels sexual, that's not it. That's not what the relationship is. And we can get, and I talked about sex as a desire, but we can get confused with love and sex. And especially if we haven't really examined our sexuality and don't have a mature sexuality. Student can misunderstand that love and attraction and connection with teacher for, oh, this must be about sex. That's transference. And that happens a lot. And like in therapy, actually, therapists love that because that's what you work with. So therapists are excited when there's transference because here's something for us to work with. Your sexuality, your sexual issues. Countertransference is when teacher or therapist feels the same way. When teacher or therapist falls in love with the student, that's called countertransference. And if you're a therapist and have sex with your student, you can go to jail. It's against the law to do that. It's considered power abuse. Power abuse is what that's considered. And it might not even be that much about sex. It might be a lot more about who's on top. If I can seduce the teacher, then I make us equal. And it's, of course, maybe for some people, sex is more enjoyable when it's with someone who is in a lower power position. So we can tell them what to do. So anyway, then one thing Rinzai talked about, which I don't think I really was clear about last time, is this teacher-student differential. The point of Doksan is always working with that. And of course, it's all in the teacher's favor. The home court, the bell belongs to the teacher. Bows to teacher, to lineage. It's all, so it's student really has a high hill to climb. But the point is that you climb that you reach the same understanding. Because it is the same. There is no differential. We are one. There is no power differential from the absolute standpoint, from the true standpoint. So that's what we play with in Doksan. So sometimes, and always, I'm looking for you to give me a turning word. That's what I want. That's what really excites me, because I need to grow. And that's the moment that the relationship then becomes a peer relationship, when the student can give the turning word. Turning word is something that knocks us off of our dualistic understanding, that opens up that oneness, opens up that experience of oneness, which you don't have to have sex to have that experience. It's all here, always. And then what we're working with is our dirty laundry. So then the tricky parts and the pits, the briar patch, is with ideas and concepts. So the bag, I mean, it's obvious, taking this idea, this way of looking at things, that I've got all my patterns stuffed in. All my patterns have created this little cosmology. This is how I see the world. And then if we find a practice that just gives us a different cosmology, a different way of seeing it, might even be more complicated. It's one on top of ours. And we may feel better. We may think, oh, this is it. All along I thought this, but really this is the idea. That's not it. We need to get rid of all ideas and concepts. So that's where Rinzai says the student comes in wrapped in chains, and the teacher just makes them a little tighter and adds a couple more chains. That's not it. So the student has a responsibility to find true teaching. And how do you know? I don't know. I feel good about my teacher, and that always taught this point of let go of all ideas and concepts. And he had a lot of issues, and he always worked with them, always working with it, and always open to going deeper and letting go of something else. So we should be letting go. We shouldn't be getting new stuff. So I think that's about all I have to say about the 5 desires. I don't know what I'll talk about next, but I'm going to end it there. And any questions or answers?